Welcome to SOFBI Christian Counseling Week 3, where we're talking about the process of counseling. We're going to be exploring nonverbal communication. This is really important because people see more of what you do versus what you say. So you want to make sure that you avoid subtle verbal or nonverbal expressions of disapproval or judgment. You want to maintain a poker face. Let me see your poker face. There should be absolutely no expression on your face. You shouldn't go, "Ooh, did you do that?" Be prepared to hear many shocking or offensive stories. Observe the individual that you are counseling. Listen to the tone of voice, their posture, their gestures, their pace of talking, their grooming habits, their dress, their body language. If you see them folding their arms, that could be a defensive posture. If you see them biting their nails, that could indicate that they're very nervous. Twisting of the hair could mean that either they're sexually attracted to you or that they're also very nervous as well. You need to look for signs of either nervousness or distraction. If you see people looking down at the floor, it could indicate shyness or timidity. Hands clenched at the side or closed indicates anger. You need to pay very close attention to closed fists because that indicates anger, and that could mean that you are in danger. When you are counseling someone that is very upset and angry, you want to make sure that you have an easy route of escape, which means that your back should be closest to the door so that you can make a very fast escape. Don't be disturbed by long periods of silence. This is where the saying, "silence is golden," is a very good thing. Allow people the opportunity to think about what it is that they're saying. Sometimes people need an opportunity to regain their thoughts or their composure. Maintain eye contact. Don't be distracting with your movements while the person is talking. You should be exercising active listening. Remember, active listening is listen, ask clarifying questions, and listen again. Remember, it is important to listen for 60 seconds, 1 minute, before you actively interrupt that particular individual. Be engaged. Maintain an open posture. Lean in. Allow no or very few interruptions. Don't take text messages or phone calls. Purposely take out your phone and turn it off or place the ringer on vibrate or mute because what the individual has to say is very important to you. It sends a very important message to the individual that you are counseling and that you want to listen to what it is that they have to say. The other thing that's very important to do in the exploring phase is to make sure that you are paraphrasing what is being said to you to indicate that you understand what was said. Another key thing in this phase of counseling is you need to ask open-ended questions so that you can glean more information. This will help you understand what has happened to the individual. So you can ask questions such as, "Tell me more. Tell me, what do you mean by that? And then what? Come back to the thing that you said earlier. Tell me about your marriage. What concerns brought you here? Has this happened before? What happened next?" Don't ask leading questions that will result in one word, such as, "How old are you? Are you married? Do you have kids?" Avoid the yes and no questions. Now we will look at a biblical example in Exodus chapter 3, starting at verse 4. Again, that is Exodus chapter 3, verse 4. In this example, God is counseling Moses. So who better for us to learn counseling techniques than from God himself? So let's look at, again, Exodus chapter 3, verse 4. So God saw that Moses stopped to look at the burning bush. God called to him out of the bush, "Moses, Moses." Moses said, "Yes, I'm right here." God said, "Don't come any closer. Remove your sandals from your feet. You're standing on holy ground." Then he said, "I am the God your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." Moses hid his face, afraid to look at God. God said, "I've taken a good long look at the affliction of my people in Egypt. I've heard their cries for deliverance from their slave masters. I know all about their pain, and now I have come down to help them. Pry them loose from the grip of Egypt, get them out of that country, and bring them to a good land with wide open spaces, a land lush with milk and honey, the land of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorites, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite." The Israelite cry for help has come to me, and I've seen for myself how cruelly they're being treated by the Egyptians. It's time for you to go back. I'm sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the people of Israel, out of Egypt. Moses answered God, "But why me? What makes you think that I could ever go to Pharaoh and lead the children of Israel out of Egypt?" "I'll be with you," God said, "and this will be proof that I am the one who sent you when you have brought my people out of Egypt. You will worship God right here at this very mountain." Then Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the people of Israel and I tell them, 'The God of your fathers sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' What do I tell them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am. And tell the people, 'I am sent me to you.'" God continued with Moses, "This is what you're to say to the Israelites. God, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob sent me to you. This has always been my name, and this is how I will always be known. Now be on your way. Gather the leaders of Israel. Tell them, 'The God of your father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, appeared to me, saying, I've looked into what's being done to you in Egypt, and I'm determined to get you out of the affliction of Egypt and take you to the land of the Canaanites and all of the Hittites, a land brimming over with milk and honey.'" Now remember, in this story, Moses is a murderer, a fugitive from justice, hiding from the law. He needs counseling because he's got some issues. He has given up a very wealthy lifestyle. He had a pimped out chariot, milk baths. I mean, he was living the Donald Trump lifestyle of the rich and famous. God speaks to him about moving from one location to another. This is exactly what you need to do when you're exploring in counseling. You're going to be moving that individual from point A to point B. So remember, in exploring, you're getting to know the individual. God was getting to know Moses, and Moses is sharing all of the reasons as to why he can't do something. So this is the key in exploring. It is learning everything about the individual. Thank you, and our next phase will be that of planning.